All right, let's talk about Drake Maye. I finished watching Drake Maye's entire most recent season and wanted to give my thoughts on it. I liked it. I thought he definitely does a lot of really interesting things. A play like this, we can start off with. It's going to be a zone coverage play, and you see the way this concept is going to work. Run a play action, roll out towards the bottom of the screen. Usually it's that over the middle route that you want to look towards. However, when this play begins, you see that Drake Maye right here, he's looking at actually that player is the kind of the one that he wants to throw to, but that's a tough throw, right? Throwing across your body, there are defenders. Is it really worth it in this scenario? But watch him make this, really tough off-balance throw. And that's one thing that I really was impressed with, is how often he was able to hit those off-balance throws. And this one not that far down the field, but still, tight window, you got to get it there quickly. This was an impressive, just ability to read that that's where he should go with the football. Like, that itself was impressive, but also to be able to make that throw as perfectly accurate as he did, very well done. This throw was another one where you see after play kind of broke down, was waiting to make something happen, but eventually is going to throw off balance and gets a nice completion there. So he's definitely capable of making these tough off balance throws with really good accuracy. And in fact, the high degree of difficulty plays, you could argue he's the best in this draft class, and that's including Caleb Williams, who's obviously really good at that stuff. Like, he can make some real high degree of difficulty plays, not just something like this. But also this one with like the deep ball, which, there have been Justin Herbert comparisons with Drake Maye. And I do see it. I really do. Because like something like this, it's going to be a quarters coverage play. You have a receiver running a deep shot down the field. Maye is going to take the snap. He looks down the field. He fires down the field. And there's a window. There is. It's not like a wide open type of window that you certainly see in college. But like, there is an opportunity to make this throw, absolutely. And it really is going to come down to ball placement on this one. I a lot of times talk about with the deep ball, like, people always talk about arm strength. And don't get me wrong, he's showing off arm strength here. But usually with these deep shots, it's more about accuracy than arm strength. That's why Tua is actually really good at the deep ball in the NFL, because, well, he doesn't have the biggest arm. It's his accuracy that's really what shines through. And watch Drake Maye on this one. As you see, perfectly thrown. They're able to get a big completion right there. Well done by Maye to make that happen. Again, does this a lot. The impressive throws are certainly impressive, and if that's all you're looking for, he's your guy. And that alone makes him a great prospect. That alone makes him a top 5 pick. Just his ability to do that stuff. Now, I do have some critiques with Maye. I don't think he's a perfect prospect. I don't think barely anybody is a perfect prospect. In fact, I would probably say I don't think I've ever seen a perfect prospect. There's always ways that things can go wrong. A play like this is something that I saw that does just give you some concern. Not even concern, but just this is part of who he is. This is part of his play style. And while sometimes guys change their play style once they get to the NFL, sometimes they don't. So it's going to be a all-out blitz, cover 0. You see Drake Maye takes a snap, looks for a matchup that he likes, kind of throws just while getting pressured, and it results in a touchdown. Again, there's several ways you could look at this. On one hand, hey, pick the one-on-one matchup he liked. It was cover 0. Why not take a shot in the end zone? Gets the touchdown right there. Sure, you could also say, hey, you're getting under pressure and you're making that throw. Like, that's a dangerous play. I think you can honestly look at the results and say, well, hey, results were good on this one, so what's the big deal? Well, because that was just this one. Like, let's go over here now. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 8 situation, in third quarter. Let's see what happens. Drake Maye takes the snap. He's going to run a play action, holds onto the ball for a bit, as doesn't love what he sees immediately, but eventually he's going to fire this one, and why is certainly up for debate. I mean, you can't even really tell that there's 2 players right there. It looks like there's just one South Carolina player. There is a North Carolina player right in front of him, but there's no separation. This is, again, a dangerous, let me just give a receiver a chance play. This is what he does. He throws up jump balls. This time, though, results in an interception. This is part of his game, is he's going to give his players a chance. And listen, sometimes it really works out, right? We've seen guys at the NFL level do that. Like, Derek Carr is a guy who does this all the time, and I would say it worked out. Like, I would say that's a positive trait that Derek Carr has, but it's going to have its negatives as well. Also, something like this is something that, I have 2 more negatives. This is the first of those 2, where, again, see the concept on the screen, going to be a 3rd down and 3. So, okay, you want to keep the drive alive, certainly. Maye is going to take the snap. He, eventually, first off, didn't even look towards the route that I showed on the screen. He looked towards the top of the screen at first, and now is kind of looking down. I don't think he sees anything. There's pressure. I mean, this is not his fault, right? What's happened here is not his fault. In a horrible situation, what are you supposed to do? Well, part of being a quarterback, though, isn't just, having every play go well. It's also about when a play goes poorly, how do you minimize damage? Like Patrick Mahomes here, he would just take the sack. Tom Brady here, he would just take the sack. Not saying that Drake Maye should be those guys already at, 21 years old, just that watch what he's going to do. You see that he's going to wall getting pressure, just blindly throw one to where he thought it could be open. And the good news for Drake Maye was that there were two players who could have intercepted that one. And so because of it, neither did because, kind of looked like the first player decided to just whack it away, but the second player would have intercepted it. So he got away with one right there for sure. Definitely a mistake. The reality is he is someone who he'll make the throw. Like I said, he'll give his receivers a chance. He'll put the ball through the tight window, and it mostly worked out in college, but you do have to wonder, is he going to have some growing pains his first year in the NFL? Probably. And then will he be able to grow from it? Well, who the hell knows, right? But again, that's the case of every quarterback. Why it's so difficult to evaluate quarterbacks is like you see this flaw, and it's like if you can fix that flaw, he'll probably be awesome at the NFL level. But will he fix that flaw? Again, you're just guessing, really, I think. I don't really know how you can for sure predict if he'll fix that or not. Also, I mentioned I had two more negatives, so this is just the last one. Just some stuff like this. This wasn't a major one, maybe more of a nitpick, but something I did notice. It's going to be man coverage. You see the route on the screen. Certainly a route that can work, get you some yards. Drake Maye takes the snap, and you're going to see this throw was just a bit off. And I would say Drake Maye's accuracy was very good in college, but it felt like there were sometimes these timing routes, these routes like this. Felt like they were a bit off. I'm not sure if it was the timing. I'm not sure if it was the offense itself that wasn't able to be in rhythm, but the rhythm was just a little bit off, I thought, a lot of times. But let's end on a positive note. I kind of talked about his arm strength, and part of why there is the Herbert comparison as well. I didn't even mention his, height and weight, but Drake Maye listed at 6'4", 230, so, a big quarterback, so he has that, but also the athleticism for a big quarterback. Watch how when he takes the snap, you're going to see him step up in the pocket right here. Can't tell if that was a designed run or a scramble. Sometimes it looked like he scrambled in weird situations, but I couldn't tell if that was designed or not. This one, though, a fine opportunity to scramble, I suppose. 2nd and 15. There is a South Carolina defender in the area. However, watch Drake Maye just sidestep him, and he actually ends up picking up the first down on that play. And that's what he can do. He's really good at moving and being able to get around players. Now, again, how many of these moves will work out in the NFL? It's impossible to say, but you have to figure if, a lot of them worked out in college, at least some of them will work out in the NFL. I would assume so at the very least. So that's another reason why, that's why you draft him, right? Because he can make these incredible throws, because he has a big arm, because he has the size, and he has the mobility. Why maybe you draft Caleb Williams in front of him if you wanted to do that would probably be because some of the other stuff. Because he is someone who is a bit of a gunslinger, will put the ball in harm's way at times, will make the throw that perhaps he shouldn't. That's just also a part of his game. I think every single quarterback coach in the world is going to say, oh, give me Drake Maye. I can fix the issues. Don't worry. Let's take the positives. But just, again, I have to, bring up, doesn't always work out that way. Jameis Winston had pretty much a very similar profile to Drake Maye. I'm not saying Drake Maye will be the same as Jameis Winston or that Drake Maye puts the ball in harm's way as much as Winston did in college. Just making that comparison of it doesn't, people have the idea of, it's a fixable mistake, so therefore it will be fixed. Well, again, Carson Wentz didn't fix those mistakes. Sam Darnold didn't fix those mistakes. I would say Justin Fields hasn't fixed those mistakes. Gotten a little better, but hasn't fixed those mistakes, right? So Peyton Manning did fix those mistakes and won a Super Bowl, won two Super Bowls, and was a Hall of Famer. So who knows? But yeah, that's kind of how I view Drake Maye. Think he's a great prospect, albeit maybe not a perfect one. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.